Do you know that prophecies are not perfect? Now, what do I mean by this? I mean, the prophetic words have to be delivered through imperfect people or donkeys. Hello, this is Lynn Watkins, and this is the Quick Talk series on what prophecy is not. Earlier, we've discussed that prophecy is not equal to the written word of God, the Bible. It is not a guarantee. It's not a golden ticket. It's not an endorsement of a person's character, and it is not eternal or permanent. Today, we're going to speak about the fact that prophecy is not perfect. Now, as I said earlier, the Word of God Himself is perfect. He has no shadow of darkness. He has no sin. He is eternal, perfect, holy, righteous, loving, and just. And yet, prophetic words are not perfect. Why? Because God has chosen to use imperfect beings, humans like you and I, and at least in one case, a donkey, to carry His words to others. Why does that make an impact? Well, first of all, God has to download His message either through a vision or a dream or an audible voice or an internal voice to imperfect creatures who are not full in every way of understanding. Think about how often the Old Testament prophets would say something like, "What do you see?" "I see what looks like a wheel within a wheel." And in Revelations, John says it looked like a great beast that seemed like it looked like a leopard with bare feet. You see, the prophets sometimes struggled to explain what God was revealing to them because they didn't really comprehend what they saw. They also had to deal with how what they received affected their emotions. They had to strive not to let their own prejudices affect what they said. The entire book of Jonah talks about a prophet of the Lord who struggled with the word going to a people that had been cruel and unmerciful to his own Jewish nation. Think of it this way. You may buy a very expensive gift. You may wrap it carefully in all kinds of bubble wrap and then put it in a very strong box to mail it to a friend. But stuff happens. And sometimes, no matter how carefully we wrap something, it is delivered in shambles to the person we're sending it to. Those who are called upon by the Lord to give a prophecy, if they are honest and true prophets, will struggle to do their best to explain and to show forth God's love and His concern through that prophetic word. But nobody gets it perfect because we are imperfect beings. Therefore, godly Christians and prophets and teachers will always tell you to judge the prophecy, to prove all things, to hold fast that which is good. Or as Bishop Bill Hammond said, if you eat some fried fish, enjoy the fish, but spit out the bone. Prophet is not perfect, even though God is. This is Quick Talk. Please take a moment to comment below on what you think of this series. And if you want to know more, look at the other videos. Thank you and God bless you. Goodbye.